Welcome back to Class Farms, guys. Kai over here with Jason.
What's going on, folks?
And today we're going to talk about those AR pistols and SBRs.
Yeah.
Now, what's an SBR?
SBR short barrel rifle. Yeah.
Exactly. So
good stuff.
So your favorite, my favorite too. I love them, but you know, it's a little bit complicated to kind of get there. So we're going to explain all of that for you, and it's going to make perfect sense after that. But in this video, we're not going to talk about like which one is better. Merely just differences, and you'll decide which one suits better for you. With that being said, let's start with AR pistol right off the gate. I've got the IWI Zion over here. Love this gun. Shout out to those guys over there. A 12.5-inch barrel. So obviously, because it is less than 16 inches, it would be in that pistol category. You basically have to have a brace back here. So let's explain everything here. Right off the gate, if you have less than 16 inches in barrel length, or sometimes you get that 13.9, then you kind of pin and weld a muzzle device to complete that 16 inch, so it's part of the barrel, then you're still good to go. If you have under 16 inches, you're in the pistol category, and there are certain things you can do, certain things you can't do. So let's start with the brace over here.
Yeah, man. So the brace, obviously rocking the SBR on this one. It's great, adjustable, but the way how it's intentionally designed is for you to actually unstrap this, pull it through, and then you feed your arm through, and then literally get it right there. So you have adjustability to control it like that. It was mainly invented for folks with handicaps to actually be able to hold this. So that was this intentional design. So you got that, but of course, we in the modern times use what we use to then be more accurate with a pistol.
Exactly. So the whole brace thing, although it kind of looks like aesthetically like a stock, it is not. It's not considered like a stock. It's a kind of, I don't want to say flimsy, like flexible, and it's supposed to be, like Jason was just showing that, and I'll just show this kind of, you put your arm through it and you grab this grip. Do you see this? So these either sides kind of help you balance. So I would have to kind of really like hold this tight, right? And helps handicapped folks out there to balance this gun a little bit better, so you can have better shooting experience, right? And when it comes to shouldering this thing, obviously you're not supposed to, it's not designed for that, and one of the downsides is it's flexible, so when you do shoulder it, it would actually be a little bit unstable for you when compared to stocks, right? But it's not designed to be shouldered anyway. So that's that. So there are multiple different options out there. There's adjustable, non-adjustable versions, different ones you can actually use depending on your needs. But you cannot, on a pistol, have a stock here. If you do, then you're basically violating the law, or the NFA, National Firearms Act, right? And let's move over to another thing that you kind of can't do. All right, kind of, again, you're not supposed to shoulder this thing. However, the ATF in 2015 and then in 2017 kind of doubled down that temporarily shouldering a brace, pistol brace, does not reclassify it as an SBR.
Yep.
So temporarily, I don't know what that means, right? You guys kind of decide that on your own, but temporarily you can shoulder this thing. So anyways, now let's move on to another thing that you kind of can't do, and that is the vertical foregrip that we have here on this SBR, which we'll get to in a second right here. Technically, you can't have that on a pistol unless
it's over 26 inches overall length. So
from the buffer tube.
From the buffer tube, and it's always measured from the buffer tube to the end of the muzzle.
Yes. So
obviously, if you have something that's pin and welded, that counts as the muzzle end, so it goes there, and then that reclassifies it into an AOW or any other weapon. So really, it's just a firearm at that point for the folks. Yeah. So
if you want a vertical foregrip and you kind of measure up your gun and it's 26 inches or over, you're good to go. But if it's less than that, guess what? You got other options, as long as it's not vertical. Now, some people are kind of like really walking that fine line, having maybe 80 degrees, something not necessarily vertical. Oh,
you mean like this BCM where it's
you see what
over
I'm
70
saying?
degrees?
Even though, I consider that vertical.
Be ungovernable.
Yeah, so that's what it is. So we're giving you the information. You guys decide what you want to do with it. Fortunately, you got other options if you can't use a vertical foregrip and you don't meet that 26 inches threshold. Guess what? You got angle foregrips or some stuff that's kind of close to a vertical foregrip, but it's not. Always check what the manufacturer says.
Right.
If the manufacturer says that is a vertical foregrip, I don't care if it's that angled. Just don't use it. Just be careful. That's all I'm saying. Do what you want to do. But this is very sufficient for me.
Yeah.
That's good to go. Now, let's move on to the SBR.
All right.
Because there's some upsides and downsides to this.
There's some great upsides for sure. And before I say anything, repeatedly NFA for sure. But of course, SBRs, right? Short barrel rifles, just like you said, anything that's chambered in a rifle caliber that is also classified as a rifle is it being under 16 inches in barrel length and then it being registered. So one thing about this is when you do fill this out, or if you want to buy this in a store, you can buy a completed, you know, SBR in a store, or you can buy it wherever that you want to. There's two ways that you can do it. You can form for it, which is great. That means you are buying a complete short barreled rifle that is a NFA item, or you can do a Form 1. So you actually have this one being a pistol.
Yeah.
You can,
if you want to SBR this.
Right, if you want to SBR that is classified as a pistol. So now you send your information in, you send your paperwork, your fingerprints in, whether you do it via anyone else or you do it yourself. You send that in, you send off your $200 tax stamp blood money and get that in, and then, you know, they allow you to build it or complete it as such. So that's the great part about that. Now, the benefit of, you know, SBR is, hey, I actually have a piece of something here that is rock solid. This is it. You can't govern this anymore. You've already done that step. So that is one of the biggest added bonuses for this. And then once you do that, of course, you can pretty much do whatever you want. Of course, E-forms are flying right now. Form 1s, Form 4s are coming back in hours. And when I mean hours, I'm talking about like 18 hours. So
yeah, I got mine most recently 24 hours. I did 4 suppressors, which is the same as the SBRs. Got them all in 24 hours.
There you go. So Form 4s are flying.
Yeah.
But of course, you can do whatever you want. But I mean, can you everything?
Well, you don't want to make it a machine gun, because that will be obviously illegal unless you meet certain thresholds. Yeah.
Pre-86 stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So we're not even talking about machine gun stuff. When we say you can do whatever you want, we're talking about basically your SBR, pistol versus SBR. When it comes to that, you can attach whatever you want when it comes to accessories.
Well, let's get into the nitty-gritty of the downside of certain things, right? You want to start with pistols and then we'll SBRs?
I mean, pistols, as I said, downsides for me, the downside is this brace. Okay, so this is not all that good, right? You're not, I can't really, I mean, I can temporarily shoulder this, right? But it's, look at this, guys. This is not going to be all that stable. And let's just all be honest here. This is ugly. Okay, I just find it that way. So stock is far better, and I can kind of attach whatever I want to this gun when it comes to, like, I've got multiple different foregrip options. Like, I love the Unity one, right? And unfortunately I can't do that. So I'm happy that we still have this option. We don't have to go through the NFA route.
Yeah, them too.
I can have a short barrel gun, like rifle, pistol, and have this configuration and still don't have it registered. I'm happy with that we have the option. But I like the SBR route a lot better, which there is some downsides.
There are some downsides. Yeah. So of course, just like how you mentioned, right? Registry. This does go into a national gun registry.
Yes.
So there is that. Now, people are worried about, oh, that means the government's gonna come take my guns. Hey there, Chief, if you've ever filled out a 4473, they already know what you got. So I'm just
technically, so here's the deal with that. FFLs will retain that information.
Correct, for years.
They're not gonna give it to the ATF. However, the loophole is ATF can go in and do an audit, ask for that information if they're investigating something, whatever the loopholes are, and kind of get that information. Right. There's that stuff.
There is that. So obviously, you know, it's great. Again, sturdy platform that you have right here in the shoulder pocket. It's great. Again, coming back to the downsides, right? Yeah. So what do you have to do with paperwork when it comes to this while traveling?
Yeah. That's the thing, man.
That's the thing. People will say that it's a downfall. It is inherently like inconvenient. I will say this, there are ways to do that. It's called a Form 20. You can actually fill it out with any state that allows SBRs. Look at your local maps. There's plenty of maps online that you can find that tell you what states allow it, and then you fill out that Form 20. You can either email it, fax it, or whatever, and it comes back to you literally in a matter of a couple of days, and you get that authorized. So when you do a Form 20, people say, oh, it's only for a short time. So I do this every year for every SBR that I own. I fill out 38 Form 20s, and I send them in all via email. And with every one of those, it's good for 1 year. So I'll put it for, let's say today is the 7th, right? I'll put it in for 5/7 till
the next year.
5/6 next year. So
it would have been nice to do one form and just simply enter all your firearm information there.
Right.
But let's just make it a little bit more inconvenient. And you got to do one form per the SBR.
Per SBR. Now, of course, people ask this question about suppressors. Do you need to do that same thing? No.
Yeah, it's different.
It's different. You do not need to fill out a Form 24 suppressor at all. It's only a short barrel rifle that you're notifying the Clios in another state or another place that you're bringing in, and that's where it ends and begins.
That's it. And the downside, another downside was, like the suppressors, a long wait, which is no longer the case.
Yeah, it's no longer.
So it's a lot easier, let's say much more convenient to do an SBR nowadays. Because literally, I remember just about 4 or 5 years ago, people were just waiting 9 months, sometimes a year, just you're waiting for it to be approved. So it's a huge downside.
My first can was 14 months.
Think about that. So, and $200
per item.
Per item, exactly. Other than that, you have a pretty much free range of doing whatever you want except the whole machine gun thing, and have a beautiful looking rifle in your hand. A lot more there's a lot more accessories ecosystem available for your SBRs.
Yeah, vertical foregrips, angle foregrips, I can put whatever I want on there as accessory wise. So
how about this, man? Let's just like mag dump. I just want to be able to show like stability. See how stable this thing stays on my shoulder temporarily against that target, which is like 35-40 yards out here. Let's just do a couple of mag dumps, see how accurate we are with the SBR, with the foregrip versus this little thing.
Let's do it.
All right. All right, I decided to remove my optic, put the EOTech on here, kind of to make it fair. So it's apples to apples. All right, let's see. All right, let's take the box for you. There we go. Be right back with the Griffin SBR. All right, now the Griffin SBR already just feels so solid in the shoulder. And let's go with this. Yeah, you definitely feel this thing is far more stable on your shoulder, without a doubt. Jason, what do you think?
Well,
all right, let's do yours.
Yep. Here we go. AR pistol. Temporarily shoulder. All right, and let's swap this out for the SBR. All right, here we go. SBR already off the bat. Way more stable.
Feels good. What do you think?
Of course feels good. Stable in the shoulder. But I think you got a present for me over there.
Yeah, you guys know what we're about to do. One of the upsides of having an SBR, you can keep that lower because that's the SBR part, and attach basically whatever length and whatever uppers you want, calibers, all that. So in this case, 300 Blackout.
This little POF lower. I'll turn around. All right, like I said, benefits. All right, lovely.
All right, now let me try this thing. Just a few rounds left. Obviously, I'm not going to shoot at a steel target. I want to hear nothing. Beautiful. So, love this thing, man. All right, so let's get back to the bench and end this video.
Let's do it.
All right, so guys, in a nutshell, that's about it. SBR versus AR pistol. Let us know in the comment section which one is your favorite, which route are you planning to go, and even if you have, like if you had a pistol, you want SBR, why? Tell us your thoughts in the comment section.
Yeah, that's about it, man. You know how I like to roll. I like SBRs, I mean.
Yeah,
so.
I do. I like SBRs too, but you know, I've got a bunch of rifles. Some I'm gonna make them an SBR, but some I won't.
There is one thing that we didn't mention.
Yeah.
Easeability of traveling between state lines with that.
That's what I'm saying. With a pistol,
Yeah.
you don't need to.
Yeah,
You're not subject to the NFA, which
Yeah.
you talked about the SBR being obviously registered for state lines. No, you don't have to. With the pistol, all day long, you are good to go. That's the beauty of it, right?
Yeah.
A lot of upsides to it, but some downsides. That's it.